Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now, this is a general reading for those born in the year of the rabbit. So it doesn't matter what your Western star sign is, it's rabbit. It's a general reading. General reading rules apply. Timing is not absolute. This is something that I was hoping to do these monthly. It's been 6 weeks since I last did these readings, so I'm not sure they're going to be monthly. And what I said on my last reading was, it's when the circumstance arises, you can go, right, I've been told about this. So I think that's what the view of these particular readings are. I mean, yeah, it's still going to say July in the title, but what have you. Right, so also, if somebody else turns up in this reading, which I don't think they will do, but if somebody does, then roles can be reversed because the cards don't come with name tags. And you can ask a question prior to watching this reading if you wish. It's quite specific. So I'm not sure that whether your question would be answered or not. But hey, you focusing on that question, the answer will come to you some way or another if you have the ears to hear it. So, housekeeping in the description below, all the details about the reading, the Facebook page for this channel that's got an inbox, so if you want to contact me directly for a reading, that's a way to do it. I think there's my Twitter down there as well. There's new shows coming up, not just readings on this channel. So yeah, stay posted. Hopefully there'll be something by the end of the month, but you know, fingers crossed. Anyway, rabbit, your reading. Let me bring up the cards. Now, I'm a big fan of the Magician card. I'm a big fan of it. But it just seems like I want to look at the more negative aspects here. It's almost like there's a realization that you've been tricked, and are you able to balance this any more? Because as much as you try to ignore it, the world is racing towards you to show that, well, to get you off of your backside. I mean, that's how I'm reading it. Get off your backside, and if you're being so perfectly balanced with your two swords just there, then you can bring that balance into an active situation rather than just being in a passive situation. However distasteful it may feel, there's a lot of work coming up for you when you realize that you've been tricked. But it's almost like that realization that you've been tricked makes you go, right, I need help here. I need help here for the pain of this. And with the Family, Friends and Guides card and the Protecting Treasure card, that help is there for you. And it is for you to protect that inner core of yourself, cherishing self. Now, the reason that I'm going with all of this is this particular hexagram, which the name of it has suddenly escaped me. Hexagram 43 anyway, but let me continue with the tarot for the moment. So, with the influence of this help, and we're under the influence of this trickery, it's almost like you get pushed to breaking point. You get pushed to breaking point because you know that you must progress forward, but it's not necessarily clear on how you progress forward, how you are going to defend the position that you're in. And I don't think, to be quite honest, that you need to defend the position that you're in. I think you need to move to a new position. This Death to the Temperance card makes me think of some form of rebirth after conflict. What's it saying here? I did have a look. Yeah, renewal of purpose. That was it. And it's almost like you had a purpose, but because of the trickery, you felt incredibly betrayed and have gone, is this really what I wanted? Is this really how I expect the world to be? Is this really what I'm looking for? You know, whatever the context. But the sentence starts with, is this really? And I do feel that towards the end of this reading, the answer is yes, really. This is really what you was wanting to do, or how you was wanting to live. And you can't let this trickery, this abuse that you have suffered, throw you off balance. Now, this abuse could manifest in so many different ways. You know, this could be at work, this could be in a domestic relationship, this could be a role that you had planned for yourself in society, and then suddenly everything that you know in the world is wrong. But just because everything that you know in the world is wrong does not mean that what you wanted to achieve in the world was wrong. It does not mean that how you was wanting to steer the world and manifest within the world, that is something that you have a lot of energy here. Now, the bottom of this reading is all tens. 10 of Cups, 10 of Wands reversed, 10 of Pentacles. This situation where you have been tricked and you have been hurt and you have been betrayed, where you have been lied to or abused or disadvantaged somehow in a way that you hadn't seen coming. Because, like I say, tricked and betrayed is definitely the start of this. Because I'm really getting the sense of, but I thought... whatever but I thought was. I thought you were going to stand with me. I thought we were going to do this together. I thought there would be the funds here. I thought that the funding body would still exist to support the project that I'm working with. I thought that this would still be legal. You know, there's so many. It starts with but I thought, and it's the trickery and betrayal that has taken it from you. So there is an emotional context here. But what you were initially seeking to achieve, as we see by this raven here, is not a bad thing. The Queen of Wands is telling me this as well, that you need to keep working at what it is that you were trying to bring about into being. And by the end of all this, you can lay down the get my teeth in. Lay down the burden of whatever this trickery was, and you can put this pain aside, because you may feel like you're not able to see the way forward. But Seven of Swords here, Five of Swords here, especially clarified by the 10 of Cups here, you get to, once the dust settles, somehow you get to profit from the spoils of war, and the war being this point of trickery beforehand, whatever it was. But once the dust settles from all that, I do feel that you actually sort of end up better off. But nonetheless, that's a painful journey to go through of coming to terms with this betrayal and this trickery. But I do want you to remember, excuse me, that you end up better off. You get to put the burdens down. You're in a good, secure environment. 10 of Pentacles here. And by you choosing what you're going to pick up and what you're not going to pick up, 7 of Swords here, by you being strategic on how you are going to continue forward, you get the whole better than wish fulfillment. Now, the hexagram. It is Lake Above Heaven. So, which is called Breakthrough. A lake rising into the sky creates an unnatural imbalance that cannot hold. The weight of water hanging overhead is oppressive and threatening. So it is when inferior and evil people rise to exalted positions of power. A breakthrough is inevitable, bringing them crashing down from the high places. The good will always naturally rise again through the creative will of heaven. So this is where I say this trickery, it can come in the form of, yes, elected officials, somebody falling from their pedestal, or somebody that you firmly believed was going to do something for you and they go and do the exact opposite. Because It's a betrayal because you're emotionally invested here. And I'm not just referring to any one particular stripe here, because, hey, politicians can happen to everybody. But speaking as a former politician. But this can be on a personal level, a work level. Doesn't necessarily feel in a love level, but you could interpret it that way. Be stretching it a bit, I think. But it depends what you was trying to do with your then partner. Because with that sort of trickery and betrayal, if you have not shown them the door, then you're an idiot. But that trickery and betrayal could also be them finally walking out the door. So either way, if it is a love situation, hey, it's a love situation that's over. Good. And I would question the definition of love there as well. But I'm reading it a bit more practical than that. You know, whether it's on a personal level or a national political level or what have you. But it affects you very, very personally, and you are very hurt by it. But you keep pushing through to that breaking point. You can't quite see what it is you're defending after a certain amount of time. But I do believe that your original intentions of what you were hoping to achieve were positive. So keep working to achieve it. Just not with this one. Whatever you do, get rid of that one. Now, the other reason I went for this is the verse of the Tao that I pulled for here. Plus all the oracle cards, but it's verse 22, master number, to hold the unity. The tortured will seek for the snug. Now, as you being tortured, seeking for the snug, although interesting turn of phrase. The bent will seek for the straight. The hollow will seek for the full. The worn will seek for the new. The minor will seek for the major. The affluent will seek for the perplexed. Therefore, the virtuous man considers unity as the only model for the world. He does not flaunt himself, therefore he is brilliant. He does not consider himself right, therefore he is incontestable. He does not require his fame, therefore he is meritorious. He does not stick to his own knowledge, therefore he grows. Only because he does not fight can no one under heaven fight with him. The ancient saying, the tortured will be made snug, is very well put. It truly enables one to preserve the unity. Now, I will be back in 1 second. And I'm back. Now, the final reading, the final bit was, the ancient saying, the tortured will be made snug, is very well put. It truly enables one to preserve the unity. Now, here's where you're tortured. Here's where you're made snug towards the end of all this process. So whatever this trickery or betrayal is, okay, the person that's performed it is not doing you a favour. Not by a long chalk. However, in terms of your life plan, your life story, your life path, the fact that this thing happens is doing you a favour. So view that as you may, or view that culprit as you will. Bear in mind there's that sense of justice there with the Two of Swords, but there's also that sense of just turning your back on it and go, okay then, I'm walking off. But there is an element of wounded emotions and broken heart here. So reach out and make sure that gets looked after, that gets cherished. You can surge ahead with your original plan. You do not need whoever this is. You do not need their permission, their consent. I mean, certainly if they're a political figure, But if it's a personal figure, you don't need their permission or their consent. You can do it without them. You can probably do it better without them. Okay, so if this means anything to you, Rabbit, comment down below. That's it, really. Comment down below. Okay, see you later.